People share their best I am the manager moments. Story 1. I used to be a cell phone tech in a retail store. We weren't employed by the main company, we were contracted through another company, so our manager hierarchy was separate. I was the only tech on one night, which made me the acting tech manager. I am a woman. A guy came in and was immediately belligerent, wanting his phone fixed. Came up to the tech counter. The conversation went something like this. Me. How can I help you? Him. My phone is broken. I need to talk to the technician. Me. I'm the technician. What's wrong with your phone? Him. No, I need to talk to the tech out back. Me. I'm the only technician on tonight. Him. No, I mean the guy in the back who fixes the phones. Me. I am the guy out back who fixes the phones. Him. Why won't you let me talk to the real technician? You can't fix this. Me. Opening the window to the back to show him it's empty. I'm the only technician here tonight. What's going on with your phone? Him. You're being very rude right now. I want to talk to your manager. Me. My manager is not in right now. I'm the acting technical support manager. How can I help you? Him. I need to speak to someone above you right now. Me. There's nobody above me available right now. You have to wait until tomorrow during daytime hours. Him. I don't have time for that. I work for a living. Me. So do I, as a technician. Him. I'm not leaving until I talk to someone. Me. I can get the store manager for you. Him. Yes. Go get him. He will take care of me. How freaking stupid can you get? That's what I've wanted. Me. Okay, I will go get the store manager. I did. She was also a woman. Him. Who's this? I wanted the store manager. Manager. I am the store manager, sir. Him. She won't let me talk to the technician. Pointing at me. Manager. She is the technician, sir. Him. Well, she can't fix my phone. Manager. To me. Could we not fix his phone? Me. He wouldn't tell me what's wrong with it. I don't know yet if we can fix it or not. Manager. To him. What's wrong with the phone? Him. Defeated at this point. It's not sending text. It's defective. I need a new one. Manager. To me. Can we fix that? Me. Yes. It's a known issue with that model. It just needs a software update. Should only take about 10 to 20 minutes. Him. Yeah, like software is going to do that. Me. Will you let me try it? Him. Okay, fine, try it. But when it doesn't work, I want a new phone. Me. Updated the software. It worked. Okay, it's been updated successfully and I backed up your contacts and photos, so they're all still there. I tested the texting and it's working now. Is there anything else I can help you with? Him. Took you long enough, and you're very rude. Me. Okay. You were very brave and in control in the face of such a rude and unreasonable customer. Not to mention he's a complete and utter sexist. Well done. Story 2. When I was 19, I was promoted to manager of the front of the house in this little seafood place I'd been working at since I was about 15. On the BOH manager's day off, I'd be the only manager there. This woman used to come in and order the clam chowder about once a week, eat it all, and then claim it was made differently than the last time and demand that it be comped. For some reason, the previous manager always just did it. But it annoyed me that she was being rewarded for being dishonest since we had the same recipe and followed it exactly since the place had opened. I was just waiting for her ass to try it on me. And finally, she did. I was the only manager there that day, and sure enough, one of the waitresses said she needed a comp for a table, and there was the cheap ass. I went over there and she told me, last time you had all kinds of vegetables in this chowder. I'm not paying for it. Bah ha ha ha. I was like, Ma'am, we've been making that chowder the same way since the place opened, and you know it as well as I do. So you can either pay for it like a decent person, or I can comp it and you are not welcome here ever again. Cue her demanding to see the manager. I nearly burst out in an evil villain-style cackle when I informed her that she was looking at the manager. She tried to argue for a couple of minutes and then finally gave up, paid, and never came back. Story 3. Friend of mine. She was getting chewed out over something or other. Finally, the woman loudly demanded to see the manager. So she shrugged and got the manager. Manager comes out all confused. Angry woman demands my friend get fired. Manager is very confused. But ma'am, I can't do that. She is the owner. Ha ha ha. Hilarious. I think this woman made a complete and utter fool of herself. Would have loved to see the look on her face after. Story 4. Customer was getting all bitchy about a coupon. Cashier called me over. Normally, I just let it slide and accept the coupon. But then she had the audacity to insult my cashier, claiming she was incompetent. So I denied it because frick this lady. She got all pissy, demanded to talk to the manager. Sorry, the manager left for the day, but the supervisor is here. Well then, I want to speak to your supervisor, she hissed. I am the supervisor, I said firmly. This coupon is not valid. Fine, she huffed and left her stuff at the counter, muttering about never shopping there again. Cashier was a bit shaken up, but I'm not very good at consoling, so I just said, frick, we don't need her. Story 5. A salesman walks into the reception area where I happen to be. I asked him if I can help him, and he barely acknowledges my existence. A few more attempts, and he says wants to talk to someone more senior. At that moment, one of the staff enters who is older than me. The salesman immediately tries to flag him down and asks to speak to someone in charge. He points at me and says, well, the owner is standing right there. I love that. I am the youngest person who works in my main office. I also happen to be the general manager and part owner of the company. Had someone come in talking to one of the employees who has been here 28 years. This guy has a conniption about a warranty issue. Asks for a manager. My guy comes and gets me. I go out there and ask, how can I help you? Guy says he needs a manager. Sir, I am the manager. Then I need the owner. I am also the owner. What can I do for you? I don't believe you. Okay then. Employee, we are denying that warranty request. I'll let his management know what happened. That's funny. This guy needed a big lesson in humility for sure, and he got it big time. Story 6. 10 years ago, I was a retail manager for Bath and Body Works. One day during holiday, a customer began going off on one of my seasonal employees, like psychotically screaming at her because we were out of peppermint twist body lotion. I walked up and asked the girl to go cover registers and that I would talk to the customer. Customer began yelling at me. After another 5 minutes of insisting it was in the back, her, I want to speak to your manager. Me, Miss, I am the manager on duty. This is a popular item. We have none in the back. None of our other stores in the area have any more. You are welcome to look online, but I doubt it is there anymore either. Have a lovely day. She turned purple and asked for our customer service number to complain. It was December 24. Story 7. I was invited to a birthday party at a remote acquaintance's place. She introduced me to her husband and tried to start a conversation by, you two work in the same field. So the husband started to talk about his work while I asked polite questions. Then he started to badmouth about a competitor of the place he worked at. He would claim there was something shady about the company, how they would scam customers and cannot be trusted. First, I asked where he got his apparent insider knowledge from. When he couldn't name a source, I looked at him and said, no problem, buddy. Just take the opportunity to ask anything you'd like to fact check, as you are currently talking to the owner of the company. The conversations around us literally stopped, and a very awkward silence followed, which I ended by politely saying goodbye. Story 8. I got a parking ticket a few months ago. When I was waiting in line to pay it, I started talking to the lady next to me. Apparently, she just got fined under a new ordinance for keeping her work van parked in the street for a month. She was ranting and raving about how the city has become Nazi Germany because of laws like this. Those city councilors are bastards. How dare they? I quietly listened and nodded. Well, I'm on the city council and I helped write that ordinance. We have it in place because people like her keep their cars in front of people's driveways and make it impossible for them to pull out in the morning. When I went to the cashier and was greeted with, "Good morning, counselor," her jaw nearly dropped. Well, I sympathize with her, although of course keeping a vehicle parked in front of people's driveways is not acceptable. But was her van blocking access? Doesn't sound like it. So you are one of them bastards. Serves you right for getting a ticket. Story 9. Not the manager, but a woman called the store I, 20 years old at the time, worked at, and I answered the phone. Me, store name. Ravens Ray speaking. Her. I need to speak to an adult. Me. Hold on, let me grab one. Hello, Ravens Ray speaking. She was not amused, but my manager was. This is the sass that I enjoy seeing. I did this, but in person at my old job. The customer asked for an adult to take his order. I walked around the corner and came back, repeating my greeting that I do with all the customers. I look 15, but I'm 19. Having a baby face sucks sometimes. Story 10. Maybe too late. Here it goes. I worked as a resident director, the boss of the building for my university. Despite being in my 20s, I looked barely out of high school. Move-in day for all the freshmen. The usual stuff happens. Crying parents and students, people trying to move in items that are not allowed, general crazy day, nothing unusual yet. Cue to a mom with the typical "can I speak to your manager" body language and haircut. She walks up to my staff member and demands another room for her child. The mom yells, insults my staff. Finally, she is screaming for a manager. I walk up and introduce myself and ask for her to tell me what's going on. The mom cannot believe her eyes. Me, this young man, was the manager. She insisted on getting the real manager. I pull out my wallet and give her my card with my name and title clearly printed and informed her that I was the real manager. She continued to huff and puff until she ran out of steam. Hours later, I get a knock on my door, and it is the mom. She apologized for her behavior and explained it was stressful moving their child away from home. Emotions got the best of her and thanked me for treating her with respect despite her not showing the same. She wasn't a bad person at all. She lost it due to the stress, but she was big enough to apologize. Good for her. Story 11. Back when I was in the Air Force, there was a base picnic. I was put on the crew to get things set up. This task was finished, and we were just standing around bullshitting, waiting for people to show up. A young-looking guy, turns out he was in his 40s, but legitimately looked 25, walks up and starts talking to us. He introduced himself as the new operations group commander and was a colonel select. He'd literally arrived on base that very morning and heard about the picnic. A couple of minutes later, our boss, a major, shows up and walks over to us. He said, "Hey guys, I think the new OG might be here today. Be on your best behavior because I heard he's a real asshole." We all stared at him in horror. The OG just smiled, stuck out his hand and said, "Hi, I'm the asshole, but you can call me Colonel." Story 12. I had someone picking a fight with me in a meeting and I asked him, "Are you really sure you want to do this?" He said yes, because he thought I needed to be put in my place. It was a technical matter in which I am considered an expert, so I calmly listened to him and systematically shredded his arguments. He was older than I am, and I thought his head would explode when he realized that I had him completely cornered at every point he tried to make. I couldn't tell him at the time because it hadn't yet been officially released, but a new organization chart was supposed to be released the next day. The next morning, I called a meeting and showed the chart, and the fellow immediately slumped into his chair when he realized he would be reporting to me. Postscript. He had a chip on his shoulder for several months, and initially he seemed to think that I had it in for him. But I'm not a vindictive person, and I earned his respect when I later on bailed him out of a sticky situation. I told him, "You report to me, but I work for you. It's my job to look out for your interests, and I'm more than happy to watch your back." Story 13. I used to do security patrols at banks, had a large BMW bike. Some dimwit cut me off one day, nearly caused an accident. I gave him the finger over the screen and let it go. 10 minutes later, I'm getting off my bike to go to one of my banks, and some dimwit in a suit comes screaming across the car park, yelling insults with, "Do you know who I am?" Me? Nope. Yawn. Him? "I'm so-and-so, area manager of Australian supermarket," i.e. he was manager of maybe 30 stores. Me? "Righto, mate," and a whatever, I don't care look on my face, which seemed to irritate him even more. Him? "I demand to talk to your manager." I give him my business card, which he calls. I answer with, "Yeah, mate, what's up?" while staring right at him. Cue ranting and expletives as he storms off. TLDR. Self-important, trumped-up little minor manager, pissant, cuts me off in traffic. I give him finger. He threatens me in a car park. People who get angry make serious idiots of themselves when they rant and rave about nothing important. Story 14. A friend of mine will occasionally walk into the back of the store when asked to speak to a manager, then walk right back up to them and ask how he can help. He should change hats and insist he's a different person. Click on one of the videos on the screen now, or Karen will sue you.